Welcome to our first three tutorials of General Mathematics or Math 01. Ako nga pala si Morrissey A. Mercado at kasama ko ang aking member na si Benji T. Liu. Kami ay ang part ng academic development ng Math Club at ako ang Math 01 lead at siya ang member. So, let's start with the saying that mathematics is not about numbers, equations, computations, or algorithms. It is about understanding. Ayan ay galing kay Mr. William Paul Thurston, isang American mathematician. So for the rationale, so for the CO1, types of functions, domain, and range of functions, inverse functions, and for the CO2, rational functions, exponential functions. Then let's proceed to the discussion. Let's go to the types of function. First type is constant function. It is the simplest type of all functions. A function that has the same range for different values of the mean. So it is written as y is equal to the set of all reals. X is any constant and real number. So, process na sinabi is y, yung value ng y or value ng function of x, kahit anong value ng x, pwede. So, next is the linear function. A function that graphs to a line and it has one independent variable and one dependent variable. It is written in y is equal to f of x is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope, b is the constant term, or y-intercept. So this is an example of a graph of a linear function. So one note is if m constant is positive, ito, then the graph is rising from left to right. Kung mapapansin nyo, umaangat siya from left to right. If m is positive or m is greater than 0. Then, on the other side, if m is less than 0 or m is negative, then the graph is falling from left to right. Next is quadratic equation. So, na y or f of x is equal to ax squared plus x plus c, wherein a or yung constant is not equal to 0. So, for the graph of the quadratic equation, yun, mapapansin nyo, ito siya, highest degree of 2. Then, the graph in this form is a parabolic line. So, another note is, if a is positive, then the parabola opens upward. If a is negative or a is less than 0, then the parabola opens downward. So, paano nyo ba makikita if the parabola is opening upward or downward? Gawin yung basis itong vertex. Itong vertex is either the lowest point or the highest point of a parabola. Then, kung mapapansin nyo, if the vertex is the lowest point, then the parabola opens upward. Masasabi natin na a is positive or a is greater than 0. On the other side, ito naman, kung nakikita niyo yung cursor ko, kung itong vertex na to, ito yung pinaka highest point kapag binaliktad natin, kapag ito napunta dito, tapos opening downwards, then we can say that the value of a is negative and or the value of a is less than 0. So, lagi nyo din tatandaan na kapag may napansin kayong equation na highest degree or power sa x is 2, then automatic, it is a quadratic equation. So, next type of function is the rational function. So, the quotient of two polynomial functions that is in the form y or f of x is equal to g of x is over h of x, where h of x is not 0. So, nagtataka kayo bakit g and x, g and h yun nandito. So, representation lang tong g of x ng isang function, then h of x is another function. So, let's proceed muna sa graph. The graph of a rational function is like this. Then sa notes, it is important to know the asymptote when graphing a rational function. So, the fifth is power function. Sabi sa definition, a function with a single term or a function in the form y is equal to f of x is equal to x raised to n, where n is any real number. X is yung base. The n is the exponent. So sabi dito, n or the exponent is any real number. So, n, any real number daw siya. Let's proceed. Example given. F of x is equal to x. Masasabi din natin siyang power function because yung exponent niya is 1. Hindi na lang isinusulat yung 1 kasi ano na yun, parang base na siya. I mean, lagi na siyang ginagamit. Then next is h of x is equal to x raised to 3. M of x is equal to x raised to 5. Then, yun, the graph of power functions looks like this. Y, or ito, m of x is equal to x of x raised to 5. Same with this given equation. Next is, for the notes, add power, one tail up, another down. So, let's see. Ano ba yung add? Ano ba yung 5? Di ba add siya? Yun, add. Kapag add siya, sabi dito, one tail is up and another is down. Kung positive, itong 5, then it opens upward. So next naman, even power, both tails up or down. Yun, given naman dito is yung even power. Y is equal to x raised to 6. Even siya. So ibig sabihin, yung both tails niya, ito, up, both up. Pero kapag naman negative siya, tulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina, opens downward. Yun. This is an example of a graph of a polynomial function. Note that all zeros, or that the real zeros or real roots of a polynomial are the x-intercepts of the graph. Next is absolute value function. Okay, so absolute value function that contains an algebraic expression within absolute value symbols. Absolute value symbols, para siyang straightforward na pataas, ganun. Dalawa. Then, you can see naman dito, greatest integer, a function in the form y is equal to f of x is equal to bracket x, or bracket x, which signifies the greatest integer greater than or less than or equal to. Yun. Kung mapapansin niyo, para siyang may pattern, di ba? Once na ganyan siya, tawag dyan is the greatest integer function. So, note is the greatest integer less than or equal to a number x is represented as x.